So we're gonna place a stable bandage on her front limb here. When you are wrapping a horse, there's kind of an old horseman's way of wrapping that doesn't really probably make a difference, but makes a difference to your clients that they will notice if you're wrapping the incorrect way. So the rule of thumb is to always wrap from inside to outside and from front to back. And the reason that you do that is to basically not pull on the tendons, so that when you're pulling and putting tension on the bandage, you're putting it across the dorsal aspect of the limb, not the palmar aspect. Does it really make a lot of difference in the long run? No, but there are horse people out there that if they see you wrapping backwards or the wrong way, they will have a very diminished opinion of you. So again, we're gonna start from the inside and go from front to back. So I like to tuck the beginning of my padding on the inside of the leg. And it's really important that you put this padding on snugly and without letting it have any wrinkles in it. And that's why it's good actually to wash your bandages so that they're broken in a bit before. So once I have my padding on, then I'm gonna use my standing wrap, which this kind of wrap is my favorite kind. It's a kind of a polyester knit that stretches a little bit, but not a ton. You also need to make sure it's sufficient length to put on the bandage properly. So I'm gonna start it by tucking in underneath. I don't know if you can see that. Tucking in underneath of the padding. And that just makes it easier to start the bandage and not fumble around. And then I'm gonna, again, pull as I come across the front of the bandage. And I'm gonna overlap about half. The critical thing with the overlap is that you make it even. So whatever amount of overlap you decide that you need, you make it even. And you can see how I'm keeping even tension, but then putting a little pull on the front. And I can only do that because I have sufficient padding to allow me to put that amount of tension on, which then creates a very nice compression bandage and to prevent edema formation. So as I come down to the fetlock area, I have a decision to make. I can either do a straight wrap across where I don't really cup the fetlock at all, and that would look like this. The only problem with doing this is that it puts a little extra tension on the dorsal aspect of the fetlock, and so you could get some pressure sores there. So the preferred method is to, as you come down to the fetlock, to do a cupping motion. So I'm gonna take and I'm gonna cup along the the palmar aspect of the fetlock and then come back up. So I basically get a V on the dorsal aspect of the fetlock in my wrap. And then as I wrap up, I'm gonna be putting the same amount of tension on, same width of the swipes. I'm gonna wrap all the way up to the top. If I have a little extra, that's okay. I'm always gonna leave a little padding showing at the top, then I just come back down until my bandage finishes. The ideal thing is that your bandage finishes, or your Velcro finishes on the outside like mine did. Kind of is around the dorsal or the palmar aspect a little bit more than I'd like. And it looks like that. So in checking the bandage, I should be able to fit one finger pretty easily in to the top, but I shouldn't be able to easily wiggle it. There should be some, if I thump it, it should be an even sound that tells me that I don't have any air pockets and that I have even tension. One thing that sometimes you can do, if you have a horse that likes to undo the Velcro, or if your Velcro on the bandage is getting old where it doesn't stick anymore, which sometimes happens with a lot of wrapping, you can add tape to your bandage. When you tape, you never want to tape the tape to itself. So what I do is I tape on top of my Velcro, and then I do a little spiral down. And so by spiraling the tape, I prevent any areas that could become a constriction point if the tape were to come loose or get caught on itself.